What's good, everybody? So I think everybody remembers when Nike was just going on a killing spree, taking everybody to trial, man. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Bape was one of the people, and they were trying to come for the Bapestas. And honestly, I thought everybody was kind of surprised by that one because I think Bape had like the perfect like loophole to work around it, but they definitely took him to court. And so today says Bape loses motion to dismiss against Nike in trademark infringement lawsuit. So I'm very curious to know the details about this. So we're gonna basically be learning together. So in a pivotal moment within the fashion industry legal battles, Bape's attempt to dismiss the trademark infringement lawsuit filed by Nike has been denied. So that's basically, that whole sentence is basically saying Nike came to Bape and said, hey, you're stealing our swoosh with the star Bapesta. And Bape was like, no, we're not. And we're gonna, like, it shouldn't even be taken to court. So we're gonna dismiss it. And the court was like, nah, this is actually a legitimate argument. We'll go ahead and take it to court. So it's marking a significant development in the case. The lawsuit centers around allegations that Bape sneakers designs, notably the Bapestas, too closely mimic Nike's iconic sneakers such as the Air Force One, potentially causing consumer confusion. I feel like early on, I feel like there was really no like confusion. I think maybe it only really got confusing in the early or the more recent years, just because there's a whole bunch of like a whole lot of custom shoes, a whole lot of like people like Kai, and then the other guy that was just like making their like own variant of it, like the worn lotuses and stuff like that. So I think now it kind of gets a little bit confusing for someone who's like not that knowledgeable. I can see it being very confusing. Like, oh, I thought these were just like another version of Air Force Ones. You know, those people probably still be a little bit dense, but you know, for someone who's like maybe younger or just not into shoes at all, I could see it being like very like confusing. You know what I mean? So. Like for example, if you send your mom out to like go buy you a pair of like Air Forces, and she goes into a resale shop and she sees some Bapestas, she's like, oh, I like these Air Forces because they're different. They have a star on them instead of the regular swoosh. Then it could be something like that, but you know. But I feel like that wouldn't really even affect sales like that. Like I don't think it came to that point where it needs to be that much of an issue. Nike's argument hinges on the premise that there is any likelihood that an appreciable number of ordinary prudent purchasers are likely to be misled or indeed simply confused as to the source of the goods in question. So yeah, just like anybody who's just not that knowledgeable about sneakers in general. This articulation underscores the essence of the dispute, the potential for Bape's design to be mistaken for Nike's, misleading consumers. In response to Nike's lawsuit, Bape's defense pointed out why they perceive as a lack of specificity in Nike's claim regarding its trade dress, the unique visual aspects of a product that signify its origin to consumers. Bape argued that Nike does not plead any of the elements that make up its asserted trade dress, challenging Nike to delineate more precisely which aspects of its shoe designs are distinctive and protectable under trademark law. Countering Bape's claims, Nike's maintained that its registered trade dress and the detailed descriptions provided within these registrations were sufficient for the lawsuit purposes. Nike's stance was, if the plaintiff's trade dress is registered, the plaintiff may satisfy the first prong of the pleading requirement by producing a certificate of registration. The court's decision to proceed with the case highlights a critical aspect of trademark law, especially regarding trade dress. So all of that's basically just saying, Bape is basically saying they have their shoe is unique enough to not look like a Nike, and Nike's saying no, it looks very similar. So that's basically just the whole, like, to dumb it down essentially. The judge found Nike's trade dress registrations and accompanying description to provide a more precise articulation of the distinctive elements of Nike designs than the examples Bape provided in its defense, such as the disputes in Heller and E. Remy Martin. Thus, the court concluded at this stage of the litigation, this court is not prepared to rule that Nike's written descriptions and trade dress diagrams are insufficient articulations of the specific elements of the trade dress that should be protected. So essentially all of that is saying Nike's descriptive, like their description of their shoe is more detailed, and Bape's is kind of like a little bit vague. And so they're basically like, just imagine like a Venn diagram, and they're basically saying like, if there's a lot in that middle section, then Nike basically has a point, right? But they're saying, but the court hasn't ruled it because they don't think that there's enough in that middle section, right? So but they're also saying that there is a little bit in that middle section, so we're gonna just keep the case going. So by denying Bape's motion to dismiss, the court has allowed Nike to continue its lawsuit. As the case progresses, it will continue to be a closely watched battle with potential ramifications for brand identity, design protection, and the broader legal landscape of the fashion industry. And honestly, I think Nike's just doing this because they're losing a lot of money, and they want as much as their coin as possible. I think if they do win it, I think it will just it really just be to shut it down. I don't think they'll take that like design and run with it. I think that would be very wild and a very unlikely case. And I don't really know what Bape, like what their future will look like when it comes to like the Bapeses and stuff. Because again, Bape has been out for a super long time before I was born. And it's like there's just so many Bapes out there, so it's just like where are we gonna draw a line, right? But I don't know. I think this will be a very hard case for Nike to win. Honestly, I'll be very surprised if Nike is gonna win. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think Nike has a good reason to take them to court, or do you think it's doing too much? And do you think that they'll win, or do you think Bape is in pretty good hands? So let me know in the comment section below. And with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.